From Kevin Martin to Jeremy Lamb, Reggie Jackson, Dennis Schroeder, Trey Mann, and more. Sam Presti is a type when it comes to being a fan of six-man guards who can score and facilitate. But by far the best six-man that Presti has ever had in OKC was James Harden. And it feels like the Thunder just might have found the next spiritual successor to the Beard in Ajay Mitchell. And before you sprint to the comment section and start accusing me of blasphemy, just hear me out. Because I don't think this is a scenario like that Harden and Killian Hayes meme that was going around for a while. Both guys obviously are left-handed, play with pace, have great footwork, can play on or off the ball, great finishers at the rim, solid defenders, can play off of stars, can play in the mid-range, can shoot the three, can get to the line, and more. And obviously we're operating with an extremely small sample size of less than 10 games, but look how eerily similar these numbers are from AJ so far this season and Harden's last year with OKC in 2012 when he won Sixth Man of the Year. But enough talking, let's get into the tape to find out what makes AJ so special and how he's broken out this season before I round out things at the end with whether or not he can be the next James Harden for this version of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Speaking of which, here's what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had to say when I asked him about AJ Mitchell's progress and development as a player.
AJ is a guy who's come into the league pretty polished. Where have you seen him improve the most over the course of his career?
Yeah, he honestly just gets it done, knows how to play, is very aggressive, doesn't shy away from any moments. But yeah, when you throw those combination of things together, usually you have a good basketball player.
And adding on to Shai's point about AJ's aggressiveness, I think that shows up the most in how he attacks and finishes at the rim. AJ is fearless when it comes to absorbing contact on these drives or going straight at an opposing rim protector. It's almost concerning just how little he seems to care about who or what situation is in front of him when he puts his mind to it that he's going to get to the basket. For the most part, he's a below the rim finisher, but with the ferocity in which he attacks these drives on, you would almost expect some type of explosive basket-shaking Russell Westbrook-style dunk at the end. He has a strong lower body and low center of gravity that's very Harden and Jalen Brunson-like in regards to how he can absorb contact and move defenders out of the way on his way to finishes at the rim. He also has phenomenal feel and pace that helps him keep defenders on their toes with the unorthodox and inconsistent rhythm that he plays with. Constantly stopping, starting, stopping again, starting again, and so on, that just has to drive defenders absolutely insane trying to predict what he's going to do. And this last one might be my favorite of the bunch. AJ sets up D'Angelo Russell the whole way here. He stands straight up and out of an athletic position, which makes D'Lo relax and stand upright too, which opens up the tiniest window for AJ to attack while Russell is relaxing on his way to this bucket. A lot of people forget that back in the day, James Harden used to actually move off the ball when he played for the Thunder too. AJ is no different in the fact that just because the ball isn't in his hands, that doesn't mean he's taking a break on offense. He's an extremely smart and timely cutter who knows how to identify gaps to slash through for his teammates to find him on, which is a super important skill to have playing next to guys like Shai, Chet, and J-Dub, who all demand a ton of attention from defenses only for AJ to sneak in through the back door for these easy points. Another part of Harden's game that AJ seemingly has pieces of is his ability to draw fouls and get to the line. AJ isn't hooking guys' arms or forcing defenders to guard him with their hands behind their backs like they did the Beard back in his prime, but he does know how to play with force, initiate contact, and force the officials to put air in their whistles. This also comes back to his use of pace. The constant starting and stopping makes it immensely difficult for defenders to stay in front of him, and when that happens, most players wind up fouling after getting out of position. And despite all the Shai free throw discourse that you see on Twitter, the Thunder were actually a bottom 5 team in free throw attempts per game last season. So adding another guy alongside Shai and J-Dub like AJ who can get to the line and convert would be huge for OKC. And finishing at the rim or at the line isn't everything in AJ's scoring bag, as he can also stretch the floor from 3. Last season as a rookie, he shot 38% from deep on just over 1.5 attempts per game. This year his volume has leaped up to roughly 4 shots from distance a night. The percentages have dipped quite a bit since last season, but then again we're still only working with a 10-game sample size, so I'm not too concerned about it given what he was able to do as a rookie. If you're going to be a role player, glue guy, tertiary scorer, or whatever title you want to give to a guy who's not a top 2 or 3 offensive option on a team, then you better be able to shoot the 3 off the catch. AJ has proven he can do just that, being a reliable spacer for guys like Shai and J-Dub to look to when they drive and kick. And this season the Thunder have also experimented with giving AJ some extra 3-point attempts off of dribble handoffs as well as some 3s off the dribble for AJ to pull up on. One thing that I noticed while watching tape for this video and that I love about AJ is how his game builds on itself and has layers. I wouldn't call him a 3-level scorer just yet, but he does a fantastic job of leveraging his 3-point shooting threat to force defenders into super aggressive closeouts on him beyond the arc before using a head fake or a pump fake to discard them before he drives to the rim. When you're watching for it, it's insane just how many times AJ can get defenders out of position just with the slightest pump fake or head fake. Some players can pump fake all they want and defenders aren't going to bite based on their reputation, but between AJ's reputation as a three-point shooter and his ability to master the micro skills of pump fakes and head fakes, time and time again, if a defender is not disciplined when they close out on AJ, more times than not he's going to make them pay and make them look dumb in the process as he gets past them on his way to the paint, generating a good look for himself or a teammate. Speaking of generating good looks for teammates, AJ, much like Harden back in the day, brings a super valuable playmaking punch off the Thunder's bench too. As important as it is for AJ to learn how to play off of guys like Shai, J-Dub, and Chet, it's also been huge for those guys to be able to chill off the ball and let AJ set up some offense for them and others. Similar to the way that in a lot of past games when OKC would have Harden run the show while Russ and KD did more actions away from the ball. Similar to the way that AJ drives, he's also an incredibly smart and patient passer. Waiting for things to open up around him, he hardly ever forces a pass that isn't there. I specifically love all the two-man game stuff that we've seen from him and Isaiah Hartenstein early this season. You can't force chemistry, and it sure looks like these two are cooking with gas when they're playing together. Hart is a phenomenal screener and roller, and AJ knows exactly where to put the ball for Hart to get him some extremely easy points around the rim on these lobs. Another way in which AJ displays his basketball IQ is through his usage of eye manipulation to open up passing lanes around him. On this first play, AJ gives the eyes to Wiggins on his right side, and that moves Keon Ellis over just enough to open up this driving lane. Next up, AJ could have kicked it out to Chet right here, but he waits so Şengün gets put into a bind, being forced to choose between staying with the roller or closing out to Chet. Şengün picks the roller, and by the time Chet gets the ball, he's too far to get any kind of contest on the shot. And lastly, one more time against the Pacers, AJ uses his eyes and Shai's gravity to force the defense to rotate towards the MVP, all while AJ slings the ball to Chris Youngblood in the corner for an open three. And I want to say, as for as great as AJ's been, this early season breakout might not have happened if some injuries didn't open up some extra opportunities for him. J-Dub is still yet to play a game this season, and guys like Alex Caruso, Chet Holmgren, Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, and Isaiah Joe have all missed time for the Thunder so far this season. But how the opportunities have opened up is significantly less important than the fact that AJ so far this season has knocked it out of the park with the extra opportunities that have come his way. Chet recently spoke about how AJ has stepped up for the Thunder so far this season.
You know, obviously, I never want to see anybody out with an injury, but I'm happy that this opportunity is arising for him in this way, because you know he's going to make the most of it, and we're going to need him. He's going to make big plays for us. So, you know, I see how hard he works. I see how much he cares, and you know, I can't wait for it to pay off for him.
Switching sides to defense, AJ has also seen some obvious improvement on that end as well in his sophomore season. During training camp, AJ mentioned a few different times that a focus of his offseason prep was adding more weight and muscle to help him on defense. And so far, that has really panned out. Small sample size, obviously, but this made me laugh out loud when I saw it on Twitter, that through 7 games, AJ was one of 5 players with a defensive rating under 100, as well as ranking #1 overall in defensive rating. As I've already gone through before, his basketball IQ is evident, and that shows in his anticipation with some of these steals. He also has great hands, does a nice job of being timely when he decides to reach in to poke at an opposing ball handler. Earlier this season, I asked Mark Daigneault about where AJ can still improve defensively throughout this year.
In the past few days, you mentioned with AJ that there's a lot of potential for him defensively with the weight that he's added. Is there anything specific, like fundamentally, you want to see him improve on?
I mean, a lot of it is he's always been competitive. He's always been pretty physical. He's always played hard. He's got high intellect. And so a lot of it is just like, let the physical catch up and let the pictures catch up. You know, let the game slow down for him and then see where that leaves us. You know, when that happens, I'm sure there'll be something that he needs to continue to improve on, but we don't really know what that is yet. But when a guy has the capacity physically, which he does, and the competitiveness and the hard playing consistency, the intellect, when you get the ingredients like he has, sometimes you just got to wait it out and let the reps catch up.
But to round things out and go back to the initial premise of this video, can AJ Mitchell keep up this production, and can he possibly be the next James Harden off the bench for the Thunder? When I say the next Harden for the Thunder, I'm talking about a perennial 6-Man of the Year finalist, spark plug scorer, and facilitator off the bench who can play alongside the stars on or off the ball, as well as playing some closing lineups. We're operating with a sample size between this season and last year of under 50 total regular season games played by AJ for his career, but I don't think it's out of the question that AJ can peak as high as what Harden got to in his time with the Thunder. But will he ever be prime MVP 36 points per game Harden that was the engine of an offense that almost took down the Steph and KD Warriors? No, but I still think AJ has a lot of room to grow, and I'm excited to see what he looks like going forward. Speaking of getting better, recently I asked AJ about how he can still improve this year off the back of his quick start to the 2025-2026 season.
You've obviously had a really fast start this year, but I can't imagine that you're just content with the success you've had. What's next for you? Like, where do you feel like you can still improve?
I mean, to be honest, I think every area of the game, I think I'm still learning a lot. I think I still got to work on a lot of things, but I think my main focus is just to help this team win. So everything I need to do to win any given day, that's what I'll focus on. But I think there's not really one little thing I got to work on. I think I just got to work on a lot of things and keep growing.
But what do you think? What's impressed you the most about AJ this season? Where do you think he can still improve? And do you think he can possibly be the next James Harden off the bench for the Thunder? Let me know down in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed what you saw today, make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to my channel for more fun Thunder content like this, and hit that notifications bell so you never miss out on any of my future uploads. And as always, until next time, thanks for watching.